said? What we have said is that when we have object can do interaction through other objects. How they can do it? If I give to one mass, capital M, an attribute, if I give to an object an attribute that we call the mass, and another object have another attribute that I call the little mass, they interact between them. So the force acting on little m due to capital M have this magnitude, and the direction is always the direction that is made in the following way. You put the position from the source to the little m. This is the vector r. And now you see, this is the r. This is the vector r. And now you see what is the direction. The direction is according to the vector little r. Little r is a vector that have magnitude 1 and only mark the direction. So the force is a force that have this magnitude and this direction with the minus sign. Okay, this is the force. So now let's go to do the same thing, the same idea. Oh, sorry, let me do something even better. You see that the force acting on M is equal minus G M divided by magnitude of R squared by little r by M. Is this the same equation? Is the same equation that here?
Yeah. It's the same equation, but you're missing the other M, right?
No. The capital M is here, the little m is here. Is this equation the same thing like this? Yes, I wrote the same equation, only I put the m here. Little m is here. It's the same equation. So we can say like this, the force acting on M, of course, due to capital M, is equal to something by M. And what is this something? The vector G, the gravitational field. The force is the mass by the gravitational field. So we define G as minus capital G, M, the source, the magnitude of R squared by the vector R with a cap. Catch it? So this could be something mathematically stupid, something that maybe you say, well, what is the intention of doing this? I have this equation, why should I call this the vector G? And it's not, it has a physical sense, and the physical sense is like this. The physical sense is like this. You have the mass M. The mass M creates G. And the force, when I put the mass little m here, the force of little m due to M is the mass M, little m, by G. Same idea with another attribute, the charge. I will say like this. I take an object. I give the charge Q. I take another object. I give the charge little q. And I imagine that between these two objects, there is an interaction. And the interaction is like this. The similar interaction, the force acting on little q, due to q, the force here, on this body, the force acting on little q, acting on little q, due to q, is, instead of the g, I'm going to put k. Instead of the mass, I'm going to put q. Instead of the q, of the capital M, I'm going to put capital Q. I'm going to put the distance square, this distance square, the magnitude of r, this magnitude of r, the distance square. Now I'm going to ask, again, the same question. Is this a good expression for the force?
No.
No, you're missing the direction of the vector.
I'm missing the vector because here on this side of the equation I have a vectors. So in this side of the equation I have a vector. What vector will I put here?
The unit vector.
The unit vector. So I'm saying that the interaction is taking place in this direction. Because the unit vector is here. Should I put any sign here? Should I put the minus sign here? No need.
No.
No need. Why? Because with the charge, there are two types of charge, positive and negative. So, if I say that Q is positive, and Q capital is positive, so Q by Q will be positive. So the force will be parallel to the vector u sub r. So what will say this equation? This equation will say that when the two attributes have the same kind of attribute, both of them are positive, the force is parallel to the vector r. So if I put here Q positive, I put here Q positive, I make interaction, and the interaction follow this rule. This is the source, the capital Q. This is the vector r. This is the vector r with a cap. And the force, in this case, is following the little r.
Professor, quick question. So in
Yes.
the case of a charge, the little
In the case
of the charge, the little
Q.
the little q is not going towards the big Q. It's not being attracted and going towards it, like in the case of gravity.
No, because now the equation has changed. If the two charges are positive, they repel.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay? So now the equation is different. Let's say now your question is true. Of course, there is another interaction that is the gravitational force, the two masses, the mass of capital Q and the mass of little q, it will make an interaction. It will be a force of gravitational attractive going to this way, to this direction, going to the opposite direction of the vector r. But what happens is that normally the gravitational forces are weaker than the electrical forces, so we will not consider gravitational forces. That Q is negative. We follow this equation. Let's go to put the equation again. The force acting on Q due to capital Q is positive. K, Q, capital Q, the magnitude of r squared and the vector r. So let's say now that Q is negative and Q is negative. So, sorry, and capital Q is negative. So the product of Q by Q will be positive. So the force acting on Q due to Q will be parallel to little r, because this will be positive and this K is positive. So therefore, the value of K is, I forgot to tell you during the class, the value of K is, let me write here, is K is 9 by 10 a la 9. What? Newtons, meter square, divided by Coulomb square with the units of charge is in coulombs. So the value of K is adjusted to define the coulomb. This is how we'll work now. So K have a value of 9 by 10 a la 9 newtons per meter square per coulomb square. This will be, let's go to make the picture. This is Q, positive. This is Q, positive. This is the vector R. This from the source. This is the vector little r. And the force will be K, that is positive, Q, that is negative, multiplied by Q, that is negative, will be positive, divided by something that is intrinsically positive, like the distance square, will be something positive, so the force will be mass plus something in the r direction. So again, the force will be repulsive. Two charges with the same attribute, with the same sign, will repel. Let's go to do it in the case that Q is negative, but Q is positive. Okay, let's go to do it. So in this case, the Q will be here. The Q will be here, negative. The R will be the same R as always, this R, from the source, from capital Q. The use of R, or the little r with the cap, the unitary vector, will be like this. Now I follow my equation. I say that the interaction takes place according to this equation. The force acting on Q, due to capital Q is something positive by something positive by something positive divided by something positive. Q by Q will be negative because Q is positive and Q is negative. So something positive by something positive by something negative, everything will be negative in the direction of R. So the force in this case will be in this direction. This is the force acting on Q due to capital Q, in the opposite direction of the vector R. So, does that make sense for you?
I was a little confused. What in this example was the negative? You said that the little q was negatively charged?
Yes, I said Q is positive. I said little q is negative.
Okay, gotcha.
So this will be positive, multiplied by this will be positive, but multiplied by this will be negative. So everything will be negative. So the force will be in the negative direction of the vector little r. So the force will go in this direction. So what it will mean is that when you have two charges with opposite sign, the force acting on here will be attractive. So like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Okay? This is the problem. I'm not going to talk, I'm going to solve it. So you have two particles, capital Q, little q, the position of little q, the position of capital Q, and I want to apply the equation that I was explaining later, that was Coulombs law.